I'm not gonna lie, the Fountain of Youth made me pretty thirsty. Unlike most people, I haven't really been the biggest fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I only saw the second movie, thought it was just okay, but for some reason I just never really had the interest to go to the first or third films. But when I ended up hearing that Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley characters were being taken out for this film, I started to have a bit of interest in seeing this, actually. This time around, Captain Jack is going around trying to find the Fountain of Youth, and he's captured by the evil pirate Blackbeard, played by Ian McShane, along with his daughter, who he had a former flame with, Penelope Cruz. And he decides to join their trek in finding the Fountain of Youth, while Barbossa is also on their trail, along with the Spaniards as well. So pretty much you get some convoluted stuff that has been featured in a lot of the other Pirates films, but this one kind of works, actually. This is definitely the truest sequel for a great Johnny Depp performance since the first film, as he really delivers in this film because his character really isn't treated as a side dish in this film unlike he was in the second and third films. He has great charisma with the actors, especially Penelope Cruz, and his charm and humor always works a lot in this film, and this is definitely one of the funniest performances too by Johnny Depp playing Captain Jack, and I gotta say, he was definitely the best part of this movie. Penelope Cruz is beautiful in this film, and God, Anton Chigurh, you are one lucky bastard. She does good in this film as well. She's got some good chemistry with Johnny Depp, and the one problem I had with the acting in this film, though, was that Ian McShane's Blackbeard was not used as much as I thought he would in this film. I think Ian McShane is a great villain actor. I mean, he did a great job voicing Tai Lung in Kung Fu Panda. I think he did great as the slimy father in Hot Rod out of all films. He was really good in that. I think the guy needs to be used more as a villain actor, just like Gary Oldman is these days, which is ironic because Oldman is the villain in the second Kung Fu Panda film, following off of McShane. So please, put Ian McShane as a villain in more movies. And this is the first movie in the series to not be directed by Gore Verbinski, and this time around it's directed by Rob Marshall. And I can definitely see why they chose Marshall to be the new director, because this guy has a great career as a choreographer and director for films like Chicago and 9. So it translates pretty well to when he has to handle the action sequences in this film, as it is the standard swordplay between all the pirates in the film. But some of them work pretty well. Just, I wish the climax was a little bit more drawn out in its scope. Just, it kind of lasted a little bit short. And also, the film is beautifully shot, as the Hawaiian landscape is perfectly shown in this film, and I really appreciate that because I was born in Hawaii and I used to grow up with the landscape of the place. So yeah, the cinematography is very good in this film. As for what I didn't like, though, and I think this has been a flaw of the Pirate series as a whole, is that the writing just seems kind of unstructured in this movie. They throw in all this different stuff of, like, the Spaniards, Barbossa's ship, Blackbeards, and then they start throwing in the thing with these vampire mermaids, and then it turns into a mermaid love story between one of the mermaids and one of the shipmates to Blackbeard's crew. That was just unnecessary to me. I felt like that did not belong in the movie at all. And also, when they finally arrive to the island to search for the Fountain of Youth, the movie drags just a little bit because the first half is great. There's a lot of action in those parts. It's very funny with Captain Jack's usual antics, but once they finally land on the island, it just slows down and it turns into just kind of boring stuff to me. I just didn't really like the second half in comparison to the first one. Now, with all its problems aside, it's still a good entryway for all the people who are becoming the new Pirates fans out there. It's a good way for them to enter themselves into the series, even if they haven't seen the first 3 films, because they only reference the first 3 films a few times in the movie, so that's an easy gateway for those people. Now, it's funny, though, because the main reason I did see this movie, though, was because I had my grad night trip to Disneyland on Friday. And the only reason why I decided to see the movie was because I went on the ride at Disneyland for the first time. It was an interesting ride. However, I will be generous to say that I did enjoy parts of Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. Like, there are some flaws with it, but I still mildly enjoy it. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5 stars. Like, if you're a diehard Pirates fan, you'll definitely enjoy it, but if you're trying to get into the series, that might also work too. However, I just think this might be the mixed one of all because of all the changes they made, but some of them work, some of them don't, so you'll probably still enjoy it though.